already reported on this, but Ruiz basically discussed the Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder fight, and he basically stated he want Deontay Wilder. He got his eyes on the prize, which is Anthony Joshua. He's not looking and he's not overlooking Anthony Joshua, but he's looking at the big picture. So, what you think about those comments? He thinks him and Deontay Wilder possibly next and to fight for undisputed.
Yeah, the heavyweight division is kind of in a bit of a paradox, I think. So to me it's at one of its healthiest states, probably in the last maybe 20 years, because we had the Klitschko reign for about, how long was that? It was like a
decade or so.
I was actually, to be honest, I was actually a fan of them. They didn't have the most kind of salivating style that you would want the casual fan to do, but I appreciate the nuance in there. And with Vladimir, he had to kind of just overcome a lot, anxiety and all these other stuff, just to become a champion.
Mental
so he he was able to do that. But I think now is that we have some these kind of faces of heavyweight boxing that we can kind of relate to, whether it's Ruiz or Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder or Anthony Joshua. And so I'm happy about that. As boxing goes, as the heavyweight division goes, so does boxing, particularly within its popularity and place within our society.
Now who's gonna go on top? After everything is settled, who you think will be the man standing? And do you even see a man standing? Do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Might be a fighter that could beat X fighter but lose to that other fighter. What you?
So I think the best. I think the best boxer out of all of those is Tyson Fury. A lot of people won't necessarily agree with me, but I did. I thought he put on a damn near masterclass against Wilder. He had a couple of laps in his concentration, which got him almost KO'd, knocked down a couple of times. Joshua, to me, he fits the profile, has a look, says the right things, seems like a genuinely nice person. I don't know if his head is necessarily up for the task, which I never would have said that before. He was an Olympic champion. He's fought in front of 90,000 people in Wilmington, right?
Yeah.
So I just know, but just his last fight, I saw a lot of things that he was going through, and I don't know if he has a mental makeup for it. Ruiz, like I would put, I would put him on par with any of those fighters. I just, he has a pedigree. He has fast hands, good power, could take a good punch. I think he can be outboxed. I think they've kind of shown that, but you have to stick to your game plan and stay with it. Have to be mentally strong. But I just think that Deontay Wilder, who has the style that I would never teach to any up and comer fighter, just has the ultimate eraser, and it's just one of the most powerful punchers that we've seen in the history of the sport.
So name your guy.
So I am going to go with.
We're gonna put your house on this, so make sure you get. I am
going to go when all of the smoke clears. I am going to go with Deontay Wilder, the Alabamian.
Okay. I mean, I co-sign that with you. I ain't gonna disagree with you on that one. I believe Tyson Fury, he's the best boxer of the bunch, but he lacks, I believe, mental, not in the ring, but outside of the ring. He just can't stay on task. And I mean, we don't know how many fighters he really beat, because obviously the Klitschko fight, there was controversy as far as the PED testing, where he failed the drug test, and then you don't know if he actually was clean for that fight. And the rematch, obviously, then he used the drug situation to cover up for that. And then the Deontay Wilder fight, He was doing well. I believe the early rounds was competitive, but he kind of managed to, Wilder probably won a couple of the early rounds and then got the knockdown. So I could see it was a draw for the people that say, okay, well, Tyson Fury won most of the rounds. Well, you could say Deontay Wilder knocked him out. I mean, the guy didn't beat the count, but the referee gave him a longer count. And that's why you got a person beside the arena counting 1, 2, 3, because they know the referee is going to be a little confused. So they count so the referee could count after them. So he obviously gave the Tyson Fury the benefit of the doubt. He told him, walk to that corner over there, walk to the corner over there, come back, you okay, can you fight? He gave him all the benefits in the world. So that's why a draw was okay in my opinion, and the fact that running it back was the key. But Tyson Fury chose to go to ESPN to fight unknown fighters. I mean, Tom Schwartz, a guy's not even ranked on the top 50. So that's my problem with Tyson Fury almost losing his last fight against Wallen. I mean, getting cut twice with a punch and getting 50 stitches, and you find a guy that's not really known, So it's not discrediting Otto Wallen. It's just Otto Wallen didn't have the experience or the conditioning to be in there with a Tyson Fury. And if he did, he would have pulled off the upset. And ESPN had to save him. The commentator had to save Tyson Fury, telling go interview Tyson Fury and trainer and let him know that it was not due to the cut was not due to a headbutt. It was due to a punch. Like, you don't do that as a commentator. That's not your job. But my point is, Tyson Fury has the skills. Just mentally outside of the ring, he's not all there. Ruiz seemed to have it all, but sometimes, I'm hearing things like he's partying too much. But, hey, let the guy celebrate after a big victory, but he got to focus on the task at hand. Anthony Joshua, like you stated, mentally he ain't there. Boxing is 90% mental, 10% physical, like Mike Tyson stated. So if you're not there mentally, I can't pick you. And obviously, Deontay Wilder, he got that eraser on his right hand. And whatever all these other fighters done wrote in the history book, guess what? Deontay Wilder could grab an eraser and erase all that from their history book just with one punch. So it's kind of hard to go against Deontay Wilder because the fact that he beat the most skilled guy in the division, which was Ortiz, that he's rematching, the fact that he knocked him out, even though Tyson Fury, Ortiz supposed to have the better skills, and he does, but Wilder, his own wildness works for him. It's like, it's hard to counter a wild man that can knock you out with any punch. It's kind of like his awkwardness works for him. That's his own style. It's some shit you don't try at home. You leave that to the professionals, and that's Deontay Wilder. So the fact that he's awkward, it makes it harder for skillful fighters to counter him. That's what makes Deontay Wilder unique, and that's what I believe that will give him the upper hand in the heavyweight division, and he will become the undisputed champion, in my opinion, because one mistake and you're out of there. It's hard to not get hit with one punch in the sport of boxing, just like it is if you swim, you get wet, you box, you get hit. So it's going to be hard to not get hit by Deontay Wilder right hand, knowing that he has tremendous hand speed. Now, next topic at hand.